Disclaimer: the podcast contains adult themes, adult dialogues, and spoilers. Our opinions are just that, opinions. We're not bashing any of the creators we discuss, and we are not bashing you if you perceive things differently than us. Listeners and viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Story and Things. We are a storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Yajaira.
And I'm your host, Cheli.
And we are going to be doing season 3.
Of you.
You.
Of I.
Of I. I was kind of hoping that we would have done this a little,
when it came out.
But, we were so busy.
Life happened.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny? Okay, wait. Is this a wine and watch?
This is not a wine and watch. This is a review. That's it.
It's funny seeing the progression of hatred I felt towards the show. And then to the point where I'm at right now.
Which is, you know what? We'll save it.
We'll save it.
We'll save it
for me?
Yeah, for you.
No, for you.
Oh my God.
For Netflix series You, season 3. So we are going to be talking about season 3 of You. If you haven't seen our season 2 and season 1 recap, you should watch it because I hated it.
Every second of it. But you got excited for season 3.
But don't you remember? I think we kept it in the episode 2 when
you were going off?
When I was going off and you were like, wait, you didn't see the season 3 trailer? And then you cut it when I watched it and we came back and I was like, God damn it, I'm excited.
Well, because I think I kept a little snippet of it, or I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I kept it because then afterwards you were like, God damn it, now I want to know what happened.
I mean, it kind of delivered. And I hate to admit that because I wasn't a fan. And the thing is, I can't even explain to you why I didn't like the first 2 seasons, coherently. Thank you.
I feel that I can understand why.
But why don't we go over just a quick synopsis about season 3? If you haven't watched it, I recommend you watch it first before we talk about it because we're not going to actually recap this entire episode.
We would be here all day.
Yeah.
Although I think we did do that for season 1, didn't we?
But we were so young and foolish.
So young. Yeah. I don't know why we decided to do every episode.
Oh, God. You know what? We're grown people, though. I'm not who I was before.
You're you.
I'm me. I'm You season 3.
Netflix is not paying us. I wish.
Okay, but go ahead. Why don't you summarize just what the whole season was about?
Okay, so just in case you haven't seen season 1 and season 2, basically Joe Goldberg is doing water sign things, and he's kind of just in love with the idea of love, but not actually love. His wife. Thank you.
Oh yeah, his wife is named Love
Quinn.
Love Quinn.
Who was rich.
What if her name was Love You?
Aww.
That would have actually been perfect if her name was Love You.
Yeah, but then...
Love you? Love who? And that would have been a whole episode title.
It would have been.
I'm sorry.
He decided to marry Love Quinn out of force because she got pregnant.
Wait. Did you just gloss over the fact that our main character is an actual killer? You forgot to mention that. Wait, hold on. This boy must love his cereal because he's a killer. This boy kills, by the way. So when he loves someone, but not love, he doesn't love his wife, love. But
oh my God. How many times are we going to say that?
But he obsesses over people. That's why it's called You, because there's always this obsession aspect to someone, and that's who the season circulates around. And he will do anything in order to get rid of the people in their life.
Because he doesn't deem them worthy of this wonderful person.
Okay, just wanted to make sure everyone knew he was a killer. I didn't want
See, I was gonna. Let me give you my reasoning. Okay. I was gonna give a recap, but then I was like, let me just jump in because I just feel like if we start talking about season 1 and season 2,
yeah, we can be here all day. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry. He's a killer.
Yeah, exactly. So Joe and Love are happily married for negative 0.2 seconds. And the reason being is because Love is overwhelmed with, being a new mom. And she used to be a baker in season 2. And so she doesn't really have any goals, aspirations at the moment because she's trying to balance the mom life. Meanwhile, Joe Goldberg, you know how Joe be.
Yeah.
He saw the silhouette of his neighbor and he was like, damn,
You.
I think you're
Wow.
the one.
Wait. I see you season 3 coming soon. And that's where season 2 ended.
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
It really did end like that.
Exactly. I didn't think there'd be a season 3, but anyway. So he sees his neighbor, and his neighbor's name is Natalie. And he just becomes super delusional with her.
Mm-hmm.
But then Love ends up realizing that he is delusional with their neighbor.
Yes.
And she impulsively kills Natalie.
Oh, by the way, Love also kills.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
both killers.
Oh, yeah, they're both killers. We're just going to assume that they know.
They know. You should have watched the seasons. What are you doing
What are you
here?
doing with your life? Why would you start with season 3?
Okay.
Bad start. Anyway.
Wait, we shouldn't judge the people who are giving us views. You know what? You kind of suck. Why would you start here? I'm sorry.
At least start with season 2.
You're right.
Just
roast
skip
them,
one.
Roast them.
Skip one.
Okay, but yes, go ahead. So Love kills Natalie, which is the You season 3.
No, not anymore. She was for 2 seconds. Literally.
You season 3, episode 1. Minute 1 through 104. That's what she was.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's how the first episode actually ends, is that Love kills her. And Love calls Joe and is like, we need therapy, bro. We need therapy.
Yeah, you can't just go killing like that.
No, you can't.
I was going to go to the gym, but now I got to bury a body because of you. Rude.
So inconvenient.
And so inconsiderate. You know how I feel about my gains.
She kills Natalie. They bury the body together. Super romantic. And Natalie had a husband. Forgot his name. Doesn't matter. And this husband has a son, but it wasn't Natalie's son. So it's Natalie's stepson.
But she had a family. Like, she had that little nuclear family that lived in that house.
Exactly. And this kid is 19. His name is Theo. And, his name is Matthew. The husband.
Theo. Oh, Matthew. Okay.
Matthew is the husband. And he is trying to figure out what happened to Natalie because, of course, when somebody dies, they always look at the people closest to them. So everyone is just hounding him. They immediately have this perception of him that, he had to have been involved somehow. And so because the media is so focused on Matthew, Love and Joe start thinking maybe we should frame him. So that they don't figure out that that we had something to do with it, right? So, but then Joe, he was going to do something, forgot why he didn't do it. I think he felt bad. And so they don't end up framing him.
He did feel bad.
I forgot why.
Because Matthew helped Joe when he was sick with the measles. And jumped over his fence. It's like when a boy helps you during your measles.
He's a real one.
You know he's the one you got to keep.
Exactly.
It would be funny if he was just like, oh my gosh, you. Season 4.
It's not going to happen. But Love ends up being a baker again because she needs another outlet besides being a mother.
Because she's already unhappy in her marriage because her and Joe are just kind of dry.
They're very dry.
Yeah.
Because Joe, doesn't love her. And Love is trying to make this relationship work. But because she's so neglected, she starts paying attention to Theo, which is the stepson of Natalie. And Theo is, how do you say it? He's constantly flirting with her. And she's like, at first she's like, no, stop. But then she slowly starts to cave in because he's the only one that gives her any attention.
Yeah.
And then Joe ends up falling in love with his coworker, Marianne, and he gets completely fixated, as he normally does.
Yeah.
And Marianne has a daughter, and she went through, the system. She was in foster care. And so Joe starts seeing her as a little broken bird, and he's like, I have to save her. Marianne is dealing with, custody issues because her daughter's dad is kind of an asshole. He's like a news anchor too, and he's like an asshole. And so Joe sees that and he's like, I have to step in because she needs me. And so he gets rid of this news anchor.
Yes.
He pushes him off a building and
Yeah. And then stabs him to death.
Oh yeah. And then he stabs because he didn't die. Oh, you're right. Oh, so gross. And what did I say?
So now he's basically taken Marianne out of the situation and talks to Marianne and is like, don't you see how your life is opening up for us to be together? Like, we have to be together. And Marianne is down because Joe did lie to her and say that him and Love are already having a rocky
and it had nothing to do with her.
It's lining up for them to already end up together. But there is a moment, I don't want to go into details, but Love, Joe, and another couple decided to switch partners and have like this like sexual moment. But
just like a swap.
Yeah, but while that's happening, Love notices a reaction that Joe has while he's having sex with the other woman in this partner group. But Love notices that while Joe is having sex with the other woman from this group, he closes his eyes for a second as if he's imagining someone else, and Love's like, I fucking knew it.
Fucking knew
you
it.
cheating bitch.
Cheating asshole. She literally screams and she runs out of the room and he goes after her and that's when she's like, who is she?
Yeah, and she goes hysterical because she doesn't care that anyone's listening, and she says out loud that I killed Natalie for you. Like, do I got to do this again? Not realizing that the people upstairs that they had invited heard. And so now these two people that were up there are one of the most influential people in town. So if they were to go missing, you know, it's very telling that something is going on.
And obviously, since Natalie was a neighbor and they're kind of like in the neighborhood, they know who Natalie was.
Yeah. Love and Joe end up trapping this couple in their book cage that's in the bakery. And Theo, which is Matthew's son, ends up coming to the bakery to come check on Love and notices the couple that is in the book cage. And then Love has to, you know, try to kill Theo. And it's just one death after the other. No one's really dying, but it's close to death.
Yeah.
And Joe is over here like, oh my God, my wife is killing everyone. I blinked, 3 people almost dead.
No, but then do you remember that he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna let her deal with this, because he was already planning on running off with Marianne.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave her with this whole mess.
Yes. But when Love and Joe go home, they're having dinner together. And Joe actually ends up eating something that Love had made that makes him paralyzed. So he...
Didn't she put it on the knife? She put it on the knife.
Yeah, she put whatever on the knife because I don't remember. There was a moment where it was like, I knew you would be suspicious of the food. So I put it.
Yeah, no, because she said, this would have never happened if you didn't grab a weapon.
Oh, you're right.
And
you are right.
So that's why.
I really like that part.
Before that, she was already saying, like, I'm a good wife, I'm a good mother, but it wasn't, like, enough for you, you know?
Yeah, and she goes on a monologue and says that you're the reason I'm like this. Like, you've changed me so much. Don't you see that we're meant to be together? But then she takes his phone, calls Marianne as Joe, and is like, you need to come over ASAP. There's an emergency. So Marianne comes over, and Love is set on killing her, but then sees that Marianne has a daughter. And she's like, I can't do that to a little girl. So just ends up telling Marianne that Joe's not who you think he is. Does she say that Joe's a killer?
Yeah, she tells Marianne because she says he got rid of your ex because he's obsessed with you. And so she realizes that he would do anything for you.
And then Marianne's like, I'm not down. Bye. So Marianne leaves, and Love is like, did you see that you almost made me kill her? Like, how dare you?
You almost turned me into a killer.
But then Love is like, I realize that I'm not the problem here. You're the problem. So she was ready to kill Joe, but Joe had an adrenaline pill that made the paralytic plant go away faster, I guess. And he ended up putting that same paralytic shot into Love, basically framing her by setting up the house as if she killed everyone in that town. She killed her husband, cooked him into a pie, butchered him, and just left her there to burn with the house.
And then he wrote her suicide note.
Yes. And he ran away to where Marianne had last said she wanted to go, which was Paris. And it ends with a French song, which was a beautiful song.
Yeah, and we should also mention that he leaves his son to a gay couple.
Yeah, I forgot he had a son. Okay, yeah. I remember Love. They had a kid together. Yeah, he left.
Just talked about love.
He left his son with a couple that he trusted, which I thought was a really good couple for the son. And we're done. That's all of you.
That's all of you. Season 3.
Thank you. Season 3.
So there is so much more information in all of these seasons, but that's pretty much the gist of season 3. I think those are the highlights.
Yes.
Or at least,
I think we should start. It's so funny because we film these episodes for our podcast in such long spurts. In such long spurts that I sometimes forget like our beats to our episodes. But like... just like old times. Why don't we talk about first impressions of season 3?
I feel like I always start. You should talk about it first.
Thank you. Okay. I do have a lot to say about this season.
Okay, but let's just say overall impression when you first finished it.
Really liked it.
Okay.
I really liked it. And I actually watched the last episode, I think 3 times. Thank you.
You just really loved it.
I really liked it. I would like go to work and just like have it there. Yeah. Thank you. I really liked it. Okay. I don't know how you feel. So if you feel differently, I'm going to walk out.
That's really unexpected.
Thank you. How'd you feel?
I hated it.
Oh my God. Why do you do this to me? Why do you do this to me?
I love that we flipped.
You never see through my eyes. Really?
I hated it.
I didn't know. Wait, you're going to make me cry.
Don't cry. Well, now I feel bad.
Take it back.
Okay, I'll take it back. I tolerated it.
Whoa. Oh my God.
Well, we can get into why. It's so funny. Let me just give a little,
oh my gosh,
a little detail. So this was going to be a wine and watch, right? So I had my whole list of dislikes.
Yeah.
But then when Cheli and I got together today, she was like, you know what? Maybe it should just be a review. Just
how did you feel when I said that?
I was like, okay. She's trying to spice it up here. I didn't know that meant that you liked it. I thought you just wanted to spice it up. Like, no. I thought you thought
as a joke.
It would be funny.
If I was like, I'm a changed woman. Yeah. But I am.
God, I can't believe it. And well, we can get into more detail of why.
I'm so shocked.
We're going to start off with our likes, though. Okay. Let's be positive first.
Okay.
A nice little change of pace. Stop making me feel bad.
I just feel like every episode we film, we're just seeing more and more like differences between us. Because I know that we both like reading and we both like consuming like just shows and stuff. But have you noticed? Oh my God, it's all coming together. We never really watch each other's shows.
No.
Oh my God.
You never watched Supernatural for me.
I did. I watched the first four episodes for you.
And you're like,
have you ever watched One Piece?
You literally barely told me that you loved One Piece.
I thought you knew.
No, I watched Beastars for you.
Oh, thank you. Actually, that means a lot to me. Okay.
You see how it is. Okay, so let's start with the likes.
Okay.
So one thing that I wanted to bring up that I just find interesting, it's not like a big thing, but I just find it really interesting that the setting is always changing in all of these seasons. So I think it's cool that in the first season we were in New York, in the second one we were in LA, this one we're in San Francisco, and now we're going to Paris next.
Isn't it kind of funny, too, that Jo refers to Love as a pod person? So as someone who, like, even though she swears that she's an introvert and she belongs to where she was first from, she, like, assimilates. That's the word he used. So quickly.
Yeah.
And he kind of judges her for that. It's like, yeah, wow, for someone who said she was a pod person.
Yeah.
But he's the same way because in each season... there's no thing that stands out that is like, oh yeah, you're a New Yorker, aren't you? You're this, aren't you? He's like, it kind of reminds me of that one quote that's been going around TikTok. Thank you. I use TikTok as a 25-year-old. But it's that one quote with sometimes I like to sit around and realize that I don't know my favorite color. And sometimes that scares me because I feel like I don't have a personality. There's so many little things that make a person. And that's kind of like Jo in a way where it's like, there's no little things that make him. he becomes where he's at, and he's really good at it.
That, and also he starts becoming like who he falls in love with too, in a way, or at least he starts kind of like gearing like his personality to kind of woo them or seduce them or entrap them.
Which leads to my first like from you, season 3. My first like is the fact that he can see killing through the outside perspective. I really like him being able to see Love kill people because it's horrible to him. It's gross. And he can't rationalize why she does it. He just thinks my wife is just a monster. But he did that before. Yeah. It's interesting to see how he'll rationalize what he does because he does his out of love. But so does she. It's so interesting that like, he thinks he can't connect it.
Yeah, and then I think he probably sees Love as more impulsive.
Yeah.
So that's what makes her less reasonable than him.
Which is so interesting that the last death in this show, well, not the last, because Love was the last, spoilers, but his last kill, not the last, because Love died.
sorry. You should just say the last before Love.
The last before Love. I really like that, like you said, he views Love as being impulsive and just killing without reason. Mm-hmm. His last kill with Ryan was so impulsive too. Mm-hmm. Like he's always been so strategic with the way he kills people. But with this one, when he pushed him and it was like, okay, that's it. And he goes there and he's like, never mind, it's just going to be a mugging. And he hella went all out. And that was very unlike him. To kill someone like that.
Yeah. Although I feel like a lot of his kills are impulsive. I don't know if he really...
All of them are, but it's always... Like, in his head, they feel more rationalized than that death of
And,
Ryan.
you know, we are kind of in his perspective. So even, especially in the earlier seasons, it would be like, yeah, you know what, Joe, you're so right. You're so right.
Yeah, because it's the whole unreliable narrator.
Yeah.
I told you that I don't like Love. Mm-hmm. But I do really like her character. Like, I like the way they created her character. I like that she's flawed. And I like that she's so similar to Joe, but he sees her so different to himself. Yeah. I really like how both of the characters complement each other.
I really feel like they are soulmates.
They are.
But it just...
damn. There was this one scene.
Anti-soulmates.
There was this one scene where they had invited the couple... Which, by the way, the couple that they had sex with, like the 4 people sexting, the couple's names were Sherry and Carrie. And that was the funniest shit.
It's just so... it would be Sherry and Carrie.
But when they came over, they were having like a charades. Mm-hmm. And there's a moment where Joe just is thinking to himself and says, you know, if it weren't for the fact that I'm not in love with Love, when we're actually on like the same wavelength, we're like unstoppable, like unshakable. That's the word he says. Mm-hmm. And that makes me so sad because they are really good together. And when they are on the same wavelength, just like everything about them is so, it fits perfectly. Mm-hmm. It's just because of his hyperfixation and obsession with other women. Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's also a killer, which is also kind of like
it's not a good thing.
Sorry, but that's a no from me.
Yeah, and I feel like he's never going to be satisfied in his life. I just think that's the whole point. Mm-hmm. That even though he did find his, you know, perfect, quote unquote, partner, then it's still not good enough for him.
He's more about the chase. Because he even says in the trailer to season 3, like, everyone tells you about, like, when boy chases girl, but no one tells you what happens after boy gets girl. Mm-hmm. I kind of hate it. That's kind of very man of him. You know, I hate it.
Yeah, I also wrote that. I said it was interesting to see Joe have to clean up Love's messes because I just loved seeing him stressed. So all of those moments, I really relished in them, especially the first one. Because Natalie's death, I was not expecting her to die so soon, especially in the end of the first episode. So seeing his reaction, which by the way, did you even notice that he didn't even really he didn't really mourn her like that?
No, he was just like, oh damn, that was my next.
He was kind of just like, God dang it, Love, now I gotta clean this shit up.
Yeah. Because even after they die, if you think about it, in season 1, after Beck died, was going to call her Guinevere, and I was like,
Whoa.
We're on a first name basis. After Beck died, he even said, like, it just wasn't meant to be. That's our love. It wasn't meant to be. You were too young.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he himself is trying to say, like, oh, it happened for a reason.
Oh, the
so it's
murder.
just rationalizing killing, rationalizing
Yeah.
death, and just not wanting to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. But still on Natalie, I thought it was so funny when he had her phone and then he saw the conversation between Natalie and her sister and how she basically called him the boring neighbor.
Oh my God.
I love that. Natalie should have made it at least to 2 more episodes.
2 more at least.
Yeah, I thought she would have been fun.
I liked her. Not
like a lot.
Actually, yeah. You remember the conversation they had when they were sitting on the pool and she was like, I like this area because there's no security cameras. And she turns them off. And then he's like, oh my God, it's happening. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah, because when she started hitting on him, he was like, this has never happened. Like when the
Yeah.
role is reversed and they're, trying to seduce him.
He says, I guess marriage isn't really built for secrets. Because he's talking about the cameras and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she's looking at him and says, or people aren't really built for marriages. Which is a very good, like, I guess like a theme
For
the entire season. Because he's not built for marriages.
No.
He's not.
He's not. But I feel like he doesn't know that or understand that.
No, he doesn't understand that concept. He just understands being with someone. But nothing else after that.
Yeah. Oh, well. You know what? Maybe the next one.
I don't know if you can see my screen, but I have my likes up here. And I have my dislikes down here. But none of these are actually dislikes. I just thought you should know that. I don't want you to feel like I'm switching to your side, which is
I wasn't even looking.
Blasphemous.
I wasn't even looking.
Anything else you want to mention as a like?
I thought it was kind of cute that Love and Joe built their cage together in the basement of the bakery that she owned. And I thought it was even funnier because neither of them trust each other. So I forgot what he had, but she hid a key in there.
They both hid a key in there.
Oh, they both? I don't remember. I just remember her hiding a key. I don't remember what he did.
Yeah, they both hid something, so they didn't trust each other.
Yeah.
And that's really funny.
Yeah.
Gosh. Their marriage is so messed up, but they're so made for each other.
They're so made for each other. I think that's one of the things that bummed me out was how, like, there wasn't enough, I guess, fluff. Even though this show doesn't,
But I wanted
it's
to
not
see.
built for fluff.
I wish he would have felt a little bad killing Love. Because by the end of the relationship, he felt nothing for her. But something about her was so different than when you find someone who kills, you don't find that every day.
Exactly. What are the odds?
I know. But I just wish that there was something more too. I want to talk about, I'm not going to call it a dislike because there's no disliking here, on my You Stan account, my You fan page.
Okay.
You season 3 fan page.
Okay.
But I wanted to talk about Love.
Okay.
And how she got so much hate from everyone in this show or in this season. So first of all,
she got hate. Yeah.
So that therapist that they went to, who was like, you're projecting on him. You can't say we. You have to say you. You can't talk for him. I understand what the therapist is trying to show because that is actually something that people might do where they speak for others. And it is very toxic. But that therapist was very... I didn't really like that. And I didn't like when the therapist was like, you know what? Let's hear Joe talk first. Because the part where Joe was like, oh. I thought he was going to be like, you. Wait, are you feeling this?
He's like, you know what? You are my new
But I
victim.
didn't like that. I don't know. It felt like every character in this season just was there to make Love insane. Because even all the people in the town that she was trying to impress hated her because of her drug addict brother. And then her mom was horrible to her. And Joe was horrible to her. And they kind of made her into this character that couldn't find a way out. And I don't know. It made me feel so like, goddamn, she getting a lot of hits. And I don't even like her that much, but she getting a lot of hits and she ain't gonna make it.
She's nice. Marianne was nice to her.
Which is funny because if you think about it, the only two people that were nice to her were the ones that Joe liked.
So, yeah, Natalie was nice to her, too.
Yeah.
Which sucks because she killed her. But, yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
I mean, technically, Sherry was or did have her nice moments, too. But Sherry is the type of person where she's very two-faced.
Yeah.
So she'd be nice to her, but then she'd talk shit about her behind her back.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like that's just her personality.
Mm-hmm.
I have one more like that really stood out to me.
Okay.
I'm sure there are other things that I did like, but, you know.
There's just...
From what I wrote,
okay.
This is the last one. So I wrote that I really loved the scene in the end where Love was thinking about killing Marianne, and, you know, the whole thing with her daughter needing to pee and she comes in so she doesn't kill her. I really like that scene because Love is trying to warn Marianne, like, you need to run away, you need to take your daughter and go and hide, and so Joe doesn't find you. Which, wait, now that I think about it, when did she decide that she was going to kill Joe?
At that moment, because when she saw what she was about to do, so when she saw the kid come in and she was like, oh, damn, I was about to kill someone. I feel like because she saw Joe as a monster, she saw herself becoming Joe, where it was like, I'm going to get rid of someone because I love someone else. So I'm just doing exactly what Joe does. And when she was like, you got to get out of here, it's not safe with Joe, I feel like she was also warning on her side too, like, I will kill you if you stay here type of thing.
Maybe.
I felt like that was the moment.
Maybe, but then Marianne tells her, well, you should run too. But then Love says no because, you know, I'm a mom, I have a kid, you know. She can't run away. And Marianne, I love that Marianne tells her, no, because you deserve it. Like, if you feel like a voice in your head telling you to run, that's your partner. And that's your true love because it's like her intuition. And even Love was like moved. Yeah, she was like moved by it because, I mean, she was about to kill this girl.
Yeah.
And I just really liked that moment because, I don't know, I just thought it was poetic because she was about to kill this girl.
Yeah. But it's funny because after Marianne leaves, it's like, she's right. That little voice is telling me to kill you. So, thanks, Marianne.
So you the real one, Marianne.
Gosh.
I love that scene.
But Love is a very complex character.
Is she?
I feel like she is. Just like how Joe was trying to rationalize his killings, she was trying to make herself feel better by thinking to herself, I'm doing this because I love him, and he does it in a way that's psychotic. So the first time that they see Natalie's buried body, because they did have to dig her up to take like a GPS ring that she had on her.
The whole neighborhood had those rings. And
she sees Natalie for the first time, her body. She notices that all of the teeth are missing. And Joe's like, well, yeah, of course, dental records. And she's just like grossed out, but she's like, I can handle it, whatever. Okay. And then they're trying to take off the GPS ring and it's not taking off. So Joe like looks at her and is like, maybe you should go to the car with Henry. And she's like, no, I can handle it. And he has to break the finger in order for the ring to slip off. And she doesn't say anything, but when they're in the car ride back with Natalie in the back seat, Joe's like, I know exactly where to go. We're going to go to this place where they're laying down some concrete, and we are going to put Natalie in there so that she'll be under the concrete. And Love takes this moment to be like, wow, you really think this through, huh? Do you just look at the whole town, see where you can bury people? And it's like, I'm sorry.
I mean,
I'm sorry for my French. I'm sorry for my French. But like, fuck that. Like, I wow, look at us taking different sides. But but I'm kind of like, why are you of all people saying that when he's just trying to help you finish this? And I'm not saying he's a great person, because he's not. He's just as bad as her. But it's like, you're both supposed to be working together and you're here trying to blame someone else so that you can feel okay about it, and you just want it to go away because it's always just gone away for her. So I feel like, oh God, the fact that she said that to him, I don't agree. That's a no for me.
Yeah, I guess.
Hello?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like she probably knows that she's a potential victim.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why she's like, well, damn, you're over here scoping out the neighborhood.
Because of that one scene I really like when they're in the rain and he's like, I don't remember how the conversation starts, but he basically tells her, like, you're just going to keep killing people if I'm not into you. And she's like, well, if you're not into me, then you're just going to kill me. Like, if you find someone else that's more alluring to you, then you're just going to kill me. And oh God,
I mean, true.
I love that because they're both so just fucked up. Like, it's damn.
I mean, he did at the end, so.
But he really wanted to stop, which I liked seeing in this. By the way, he wouldn't have stopped, but he really, like, his character was trying to, like, justify in his head, like, I am stopping. I'm not like Love. I don't know if you remember Gil, the friendly Gil,
Of course.
that they had trapped because Love had thought that Gil gave Henry the measles.
Well, he kind of did.
He kind of did. I thought it was Joe.
No, Gil didn't vaccinate his kids, and so his kids gave Henry the measles, and then Henry gave it to Joe.
Okay, so the reason I bring that up is when they had him in that book cage.
I love that you call it a book cage.
Because it started off as a book cage. Love had said to Joe that, you know, he hurt our son. You know, isn't it just better to get rid of him? He's kind of a nobody.
He's kind of a loser.
I really liked when Joe was like, you can't make me kill anyone anymore. Like, you can't just keep asking me to do that. Because that's when finally he saw that his baby did like him. So he wanted to be a changed person.
For Henry.
Yeah.
The baby.
I did like that. But I mean, it would have never happened. He would have never been okay.
I mean, he literally killed Ryan.
He killed someone the next day. And he was like, okay, starting now. Starting now, I'll be okay.
Fresh tomorrow.
How do you feel about Theo kind of looking exactly like 40? That's what I felt like.
Really?
I as soon as I saw Theo, I thought it was 40. And I know they don't look the same.
Really?
Like, yeah, but their stance, their manner of speaking.
Curly hair.
That too, but like their manner of being was the same. And I don't know if you remember the scene where Love got drunk and she was in her bathtub and 40 was like, I really like that kid. He actually reminds me a lot of me.
Oh, you're right. He did say that.
Isn't it kind of weird, her infatuation with her own brother?
I think she just really misses him. It is weird.
It's weird.
It's really weird.
It is weird. I think it was that too. I don't think her actual relationship with her brother was weird. But I do think that she just needed someone who was like her brother in her life. And that was Theo at that point.
Yeah.
But I was kind of thrown off.
No, yeah. That part, I didn't like that part either.
How did you feel about Theo and Love?
Well, before I talk about Theo and Love, my biggest complaint, maybe not my biggest, but one of my biggest complaints of this season is that I felt like Love's character didn't reflect at all what I perceived her as in the second season. Because in the second season, I felt like she was a little more put together and not as impulsive.
Yes.
But in this one, I just felt like it was a whole different person. Like, maybe it could be the hormones. I don't know. But I just felt like it wasn't the same Love. So when that whole thing was happening between her and Theo, like I mentioned in the summary, Theo was hitting on her. He's 19. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. Early 30s? I don't know.
I think so.
And she at first was not reciprocating, but then eventually she does cave in because he's the only one that throws her a bone. I hated that. I hated that whole thing. It makes me so upset because the 19-year-old is the only one who's paying attention to her. Yeah. Like out of this whole neighborhood. Or even, I mean, not that she had any coworkers, but, you know, even somebody couldn't like walk in and then try to seduce her or something. I just didn't like that it was just the 19-year-old.
The fact that he also didn't respect when she said no.
Yeah.
And he was very like, but you want this. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. I didn't like that either.
So gross. I didn't really like Theo.
But then even her, she would also try to, I mean, she was confused.
Yeah.
So she would even like undress near the window when knowing that he was in her eye.
Line of vision.
Yeah, line of vision. There you go. And I just was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And then I kind of hoped that Theo messing with Love would produce some reaction out of Joe, but he literally gave no fucks.
No, he didn't. And he even got to the point where it's like, okay, I have to pretend to be jealous.
Mm. I hated that.
Yeah. Remember you told me the statistic with the whole most women who cheat are married.
Oh yeah, I forgot where I got that from. I was watching something and then someone just brought up like married women are more likely to cheat than single. Or not single, but you know what I mean? Like not married.
Yeah, I kind of wish that Love hadn't cheated. Because then...
I mean, Joe's always cheating, so...
No, Joe was always cheating, but I didn't want her to become the same thing he was. Because she became the same thing.
I don't blame her.
Okay. I can actually agree with that.
I kind of wish she would have cheated harder.
How do you cheat harder?
She's like the whole neighborhood.
It's like, who are you cheating on me with? Look around.
You know what would have been...
Whatever the sun touches.
You know what would have been so much better? If she had started a relationship with Natalie's husband, Matthew. That would have been so much better.
They would have just been like that show, the wife swap show.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God. We could have written season 3 better.
Yeah, because then, Joe would try to frame him, but then Love kind of like falls in love.
Yeah. Wow. And that would be like when trailers have that one quote, it's like, love falls in love. You season 3.
Yeah. That could have been it.
How did you feel about season 3, episode 5, Into the Woods, where Joe is taken by a bunch of men to just go feral?
Just all these alphas.
Oh my God. How did you feel?
I didn't like it. It made me uncomfy. I don't even remember what the premise was.
Basically, the point of it was, in therapy, Love had said that it makes her feel uncomfortable that Joe doesn't have any friends. And Joe was like, I got plenty of friends. Everyone at work. It's like, no, but you have
one coworker.
I know. 2, remember?
Oh, yeah.
But it was, in order to show that he's trying, he went out with all these guys. And then Carrie was there. And Carrie kind of pushed him to his limit, to the point where...
He nearly killed Carrie.
And he was so scared. But instead of everyone judging him, Carrie resuscitates himself. She's like, ooh, I'm back.
And they're so proud of him. They're like, oh, hell yeah, you're a man now.
Yeah, and then Carrie hugs him and Joe cries.
Oh, yeah,
Joe cries, and then Joe thinks to himself, this darkness that I've been hiding inside of me, they've accepted it. Like, I can finally feel like myself again. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get that part.
I didn't either, to be honest.
Like, is he saying, like, men are just like that? I hate that if that's what he's saying.
Yeah. Or maybe the fact that he liked that Carrie didn't really react to nearly being killed by him. Mm-hmm. Like, he was forgiven for that action, so he didn't have to, deal with having to kill him for real and then hide the body and then kill everybody else.
Isn't it kind of funny, though, that he's over here like, wow, I can really make friends. And then, like, when he met Gil for the first time, he's like, wow, seems like someone I can get along with. But he never truly gets along with any of them.
No, he's not concerned with friendships, though.
No.
Just women.
Yeah, just women.
And that's it.
Oh, gosh. Before I talk about things I would have wanted, I just want to say I'm really sad that you didn't like it.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you would. I
thought you would have hated it.
Really? Did you think that about me? Mm. Why didn't you tell me?
I just thought, I don't know. I was expecting something better.
I liked it a lot, but if I would have changed something about this show, I wish that Love would have won the last fight. And that she would have become the main character.
Wouldn't that be something?
I just thought that's where it was going. Because I remember you mentioning that Love, her actress, is like a pretty liked actress.
I think she's really liked. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that that's where it was going, that she was going to become like the main. So I'm kind of sad that she didn't.
So when I watched this, because I binged this season.
I did too.
And I had no idea that there was going to be an upcoming season until the end.
And
so I seriously believed that this was going to be the last season. So I think that's why I was also disappointed, because I thought that Joe was going to be killed by love, because it sounds poetic. Of course, it's going to be love that kills him.
God, stop swaying me. That would have been good.
I thought that would have been so poetic. And I mean, maybe she's not dead, because somebody else online, I don't know who it was, somebody else online, I just saw this on like a tweet, like it wasn't like a review or anything. Somebody else brought up that we've already done this before, where he killed somebody, left a suicide note, and we never speak of them again. Well, we speak of them, but they don't come back, which is Beck.
Yeah.
So they're like, we're kind of expecting for love to actually come back, because why, you know, it didn't actually work with Beck. And Candace came back.
You're right. You're thinking of Candace.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that she's not dead.
But her body was still there.
No.
Okay.
It's
gone.
It's actually her mom. She swapped it.
She swapped it. Mm-hmm. By the way, we didn't talk about her mom that much. Her mom was crazy. Mm-hmm. I did not like her mom.
I didn't either. But
I also didn't think she was that great of a character or added anything. Probably stress to love.
Just stress to love and love's marriage.
I kind of hated that she was in the show.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, me too.
Can I tell you my favorite line?
Yeah. When
Sherry and Carrie were in the cage and they were fighting. They were hella fighting. And Sherry is like, you know what? I don't understand why you think that our marriage is a hack. It's like, Carrie says back, well, everything you do is a hack. Everything you do is fake. It's superficial. And then she's like, well, you would not have liked me when I was a graduate student with my big glasses. And Carrie gets very like, you know that I loved you then and I love you now and I've loved all of the different yous. Before you, I had inflammation and undiagnosed lactose intolerance.
Oh, yeah.
Like, God damn.
I remember that.
And she was like, babe. Because at first I was like, the fight meant nothing to me, but when they said that, I was like, damn, they were made for each other.
Yeah, they were actually kind of cute together.
They were.
Even though they were so annoying in the beginning, I seriously did not think they were going to last.
No.
I didn't think they were going to survive the end.
Even Joe was like, they made it, by the way.
Yeah, he was like, I'm surprised, I guess. Yeah, because Joe never let them out. They ended up finding the key that Love had left in there.
Yeah. I really like when Love died. And at the very end, it was talking about how everyone in the town talked about you. You became kind of like an infamous thing because they were a small town. You know, it's something that people talk about. And the last thing he says about Love is you became even more famous than Guinevere Beck. It's like, oh,
damn. God. Oh my God, he's making all his exes super famous.
I know.
Damn. And Candace, I mean, she was in a band, so maybe she was like indie.
What's Marianne going to become? An artist.
Oh, yeah. An artist.
He just likes people that are passionate about things.
Mm-hmm. I'm worried about Marianne.
Me too. She has a kid.
But she's a fighter, though.
She is.
I feel like she could kill him, for sure.
But what are you going to do? Because she probably did read the news that Joe died because he staged his own death. Mm-hmm. Is she just going to be like, what happened? It's like, I cut my toes off for you. I'm here now. Yeah. We're going to be together forever. And she's going to be like, oh, that's chill. I thought you were a killer, but not. You cut your toes for me, so.
I mean, let me see.
Let me see. There should only be 6 of them. Gosh.
I don't.
How is that going to go? I wonder do you think they've already created the 4th season? Or do you think they made that ending and they were like, oh, shit. Okay.
Now we got to make it.
I didn't think we were going to get that far.
I feel like they're probably... I actually don't know. I don't know how the filming works.
I just really hope that... I don't know. I don't want Marianne to get killed.
I feel like Marianne would kill him, though.
What if the little girl kills him?
Oh, my God. I don't know. What if he falls in love with 2 people at once? Spice it up a little.
He wouldn't, though, because that's not his mindset. Even when they brought up the whole like loving more than one or more than two, that's what they said because it's two in a pair. He was just kind of like, I don't get it, but I'll do it for love. Mm-hmm. Like I don't think he's down.
But, okay, but what if he falls in love with someone else, but then he sees Marianne? And then he's like, oh
my gosh. Sorry, Marianne.
Now there's two.
It's like, this is the guy I was telling you about, the guy with no toes.
With no toes. How did he lose all his toes?
Long story.
It's a long, crazy story.
It's a long story, but you'll just have to tune into You season 3. 4. And then that's it. Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. It's just so catchy. I think I'm done. I think I do want to mention again that I did really like this season. So
I'm so happy for you.
It's not a wine and watch. It's not.
Well, it is for me. So
I don't get it. What are your likes?
I already told you.
Yeah, you like romance, and you like. Apparently, fake dating is like you're up there.
Not even.
It's going to become it, but only because of exposure.
We're not talking about that right now.
I'm sorry.
Don't give any spoilers. I also really hate Joe's character though.
Yeah, me too.
Like in the beginning, it's not that I liked his character, but I tolerated him. I thought he was funny. I understood his motives a little bit more than I did this season. And then I told my friend, I was like, how many seasons am I going to have to endure for this man to finally either get caught or get killed?
Yeah.
I just want him to die already.
You just want it to end.
I just want it to end. Like, end my suffering, please. Thank you.
Yeah. I get it.
Thank you.
I think we're done. Mm-hmm. If you had to rate You season 3.
I don't even remember what I rated the other ones.
Me neither. I know that they were really low on my rating scale.
Yeah, they were. Oh my God.
I think I would rate this a 3.
Okay. Pretty good.
Only because I can see myself recommending someone use season 1 and 2 just so they can get to 3.
Oh, you wouldn't tell him to skip?
No. Oh, I would just tell him to watch our podcast on Spotify or Amazon.
Exactly.
Just plugging in. And just tune into our 2 episodes and then watch season 3.
Yeah. Just a little recap. I think I would rate it 1.5. Hey, it's better than a 0.5. I don't want to call anybody out in this table, but a 1.5 was really low.
You know what's funny? Is You season 3 gonna become what? We can cut this out. What Julia Quinn is to me.
What do you mean?
Do you?
Well, I would still watch it.
I would still read Duke and I and the other things that she's created. Doesn't mean I'll enjoy it.
I don't know. You know what it is? I think it's because I really love Victoria Pedretti. So I'm just really biased.
You wanted her to be something different.
I wanted her to be a better character. And I just thought that she would end up killing him.
Well, only one of us is a writer in this room. So I trust you more.
You write.
I edit.
You write.
When was the last time I've written anything? I've never written in my life.
Yes, you have.
No, like in general, just like picking up a pencil.
I'm not even going to expose you right now.
When was I actually don't remember when the last time I wrote something was.
Well, you have expressed the desire to write.
That's true. Why are you calling me out like this?
You know what? Anybody can be a writer, okay?
Oh my gosh. Ratatouille moment.
What is this episode?
Okay, time to talk about Ratatouille.
This is the bonus part of the
I know.
episode.
If you have Patreon, this is worth $300. You're not going to get it anywhere else. Let's never talk about Ratatouille. That's just going to be the thing that we'll never talk about. You'll never know if I like or hate it.
It's a surprise.
Who knows? Maybe I
don't know.
It's like there was this one time. Do you remember that show when we were kids that I don't remember what it was called, but it would always be like Música Maestro.
Yes.
I remember it was like a Dancing with the Stars in Spanish.
I remember.
And sometimes, just to make it a little spicy, sometimes the judges would hold up their signs backwards. Just to be like, oh my gosh, what did he vote? We'll never know. And there was this one time, because I used to be really into that show, and me and my mom were watching it, and the guy was like, yo sé lo que debo de hacer. Like, I know what I have to do. And he picked up his sign, and it was backwards, and the whole audience was like, and then you can see, like, in the background, the guy sitting right behind the judge is like, ocho. Like, oh, way to ruin it. I don't know why I brought that up. I just thought I should.
That's funny. The guy in the back was like 8.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Damn, he really spoiled it. God.
He really did. But no one will ever spoil Ratatouille for us. Or no, we'll never spoil it for anyone, how we feel.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our
What
lips
were
are
we talking
sealed. Joe and Love.
Oh, yeah.
Love and Joe.
Love and Joe. I think we're done. I think that maybe we should do a...
Wait.
What?
But we didn't talk about the theme that has continued from season 1 until season 3.
Love?
No. Joe is still a public masturbator.
I'm trying to end the episode and you're over here talking about public masturbation. I'm sorry, but I think that's his like
I could like move
that's
this.
no. That's like his least attractive quality, and he's a serial killer. So the fact that that is so gross. He masturbated in front of Beck's window while literally a lady was walking by.
Grandma.
I'm like, hello? Hold your horses, my guy. And Abuelita is crossing the street. And he was just like, just get...
and then he
I'm
opened
good.
the door for her.
Oh my God. With the same hand. That's so gross. And then the second season was when he masturbated in the bakery area.
Yeah. It was like in the back somewhere because he was picturing love. But this season was in the parking lot, but also when he broke into Ryan's apartment. Remember?
Oh, yeah, and there were pictures of Marianne. Okay, you're right.
Literally right in front of the mirror. I was like, you need to watch yourself.
My guy. My guy.
We're like roasting
I hate it. It's like that stupid video that I can excuse racism, but I can't excuse animal abuse. And it's like, you can excuse racism?
Oh, from Community.
That's like, I can excuse being a serial killer, but I can't excuse public masturbation. Oh my gosh.
I saw that on my notes, so I was like, hold on.
Okay, thank you for bringing it up. And we actually had to bring it up.
We had to.
I think we reached the end of the episode, unless you have another...
We're good. I'm done.
You're done?
I'm so done.
I'm done.
I'll still watch the next season, okay?
Me too. I hope I like it. But if I like it, that means you'll dislike it. So hopefully we both just feel about it. So we can both be at like a 2.3 maybe next time. Thank you so much for listening. If you would like to listen to our other episodes, you can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, or anywhere where you listen to podcasts. You can also see us on YouTube. I guess we're not, which,
one day.
Yeah, one day we'll be on there. It's just been hard. You know why it's hard? It's because people aren't clicking the notification bell, which does help with being promoted. So I kind of blame you guys. This is an episode where we roast. But thank you so much for listening. I think we're going to end with a review. Mm-hmm. And we are going to do this by rolling a Dungeons and Dragon die, a 20-sided die. If it lands on a even number, it is going to be a positive review. And if it lands on a negative number, odd number, then it is going to be a negative review. So I will roll it for us. Boom. We have a 9. Oh, just kidding. A 6. I can't read numbers. A 6. So this is a positive review.
Okay, so this is from Rotten Tomatoes, written by Salome, and they give it a 9 out of 10. That's pretty high. And they write, the stakes are higher and so is the tension. Joe may be a family man now, but he's still the guy who builds cages, and the rest of the excitement of this season is watching to find out if he ends up in one. It's a good review.
Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.